We back with some more Nimrods, baby. Hope y'all are doing well today. Look, we got something really interesting today, which is a little challenge to get fish in a barrel, which is to achieve 70% accuracy or higher while using the shotgun. I'm not gonna lie, chat, that's pretty hard. We're gonna have to get homing early on, so I've done a few things. First of all, this was the cool vampiric Nosferatu weapon that we created last time. We're gonna just save that for the boss. Right now we have the B gun loaded up, and I think the B gun is gonna do okay for us, at least for now. Two things that we need to focus on. One is going to be getting a lot of gambles early on. So we have this loaded up with all the gambles that I can right now. I still need a few of the trees, or the tree hearts, Malfor hearts, in order to get the 4th gambler pot unlocked. And we have them pretty much front loaded here. We got 3 of the gambles all the way up front. So hopefully that helps. You know what I should do here as well for now is I'm going to trade out these the little turret ones. Unequip. We're gonna put these in front because they're very how can I say this? It's to the point to where if you don't have them set up correctly, you're gonna really falter when it comes to surviving. Okay, because we're gonna be trying not to shoot right away. Yeah, talking and chewing gum at the same time is not my strong suit, guys. When I'm trying to explain something like that and do something in game, I might as well just stop doing stuff and start talking, because, well, it could be pretty bad. Anyway, hope y'all are doing well this morning. I'm a little scatterbrained because I've had a lot of coffee, I guess, but guys, I gotta tell you, I'm having an extra cup this morning because it is so cool outside in South Louisiana. I mean, it's like 63 degrees outside right now. It's wonderful. Let's do some gambles and hope that we can get something. No, this is a reroll, so we don't want to do this. This is Hex, which would kind of give a Helix, would kind of give us more than we need for bullets, and that's even gonna be harder to make sure that they hit everything. So we're just gonna go with brass knuckled grip here and hope that's right. I ended up unlocking all of the blueprints that we currently have available, so that's interesting. The bees are doing a good job right here, I will say. You know, an underbarrel like energy, the energy shooter, what's the name of it? Energy something. Anyway, it would help me out a ton. Let's do, you know what, let's just go for bullet damage here. I think I'm not using a whole bunch right now, and matter of fact, I'm just trying not to shoot. I don't mind shooting if I need to, and trust me, we will need to, but I'm kind of saving, kind of just letting my drone do the work right now so that we can worry about accuracy once we get homing. The thing is, though, I'm not killing as fast as I could be, so that is a little bit of a concern, but that's okay. Let's get some more gambles done. Yeah, when these guys start populating the board, it gets pretty rough. Okay, let's gamble. Piercing ammo, nope, that's not what we want. Explosive magazine. With shotgun, that probably isn't that bad, to tell you the truth, but I think I'm gonna try to gamble one more time. Containment field, that is also not what we want, but hell splitter barrel is okay, so we're gonna take it, and we're gonna gamble again until we see if we can get that scope. I think it's the scope sight that we need, that lets us go into homing. But it's a little ways in. Like, it's the 3rd tier of upgrades, so there's quite a bit to do before we get to that. All right, bullet count, and I'm gonna go with penetrations here. I have no idea how accuracy is scored, okay? And I've also had people comment in the past that it's not really easy to get this thing. Like, people have had trouble with it, like errors, you know, like obviously their accuracy was above a certain threshold and they still didn't get it. So I don't know, but the support you guys give me is always insane. I really do appreciate it. If you would find it in your heart to give me some dap on that like button, or if you got the hype button let me tell you all about this hype button thing that's going on here. So it came out of nowhere. There's just an update one day that was like, hey, you should do the hype button. The hype button is, oh, look, scope sight. There, we got it. The hype button is something that you can only see on mobile, and not everybody sees it. I don't have the hype button option on this account, at least. So I can't even hype the videos that I like, which sucks because I want to see how it works. But anyway, what happens is, apparently, if you get a lot of hype points, I think I'm gonna go with reload speed here. If you get a lot of hype points, your channel gets recommended in the algorithm. And I gotta tell you, so far, those of you that have been helping me out with that, I appreciate it, because it shows. We just hit like 3,000 subscribers the other day. Still pales in comparison to the 300,000 that I had, but let me tell you something. Those that are here, you guys, the OGs, y'all, I am getting better results on this channel than I was the old channel, which is crazy to me. You know, like, how in the world can you have 300,000 subscribers and not do as well than as having 3,000? Look, I don't understand it. I mean, I do understand it technically, but I don't understand it. The law of large numbers tells me that it's crazy to think about. But all I gotta say is I'm thankful for you. Thank you very, very much for that, guys. I do appreciate it. It's given me a new lease on life. I'm having fun with games. I'm having fun with creating videos for you guys. I'm having fun hearing all about the comments and stuff. Like yesterday, I did a game called Z-Curse, okay? It's a zombie shooter, it's a roguelike, and you basically, all you do is stand behind this little like wall, this wall of turrets and fences and stuff like that, and shoot zombies, and it's like an arcade shooter. I think I'm gonna do flamethrower here. That way at least I get to shoot something. It doesn't have anything to do with shotgun. I can just right click and kind of help out my drone when I need it. So yeah, anyway, I'm playing the zombie shooter, and it strikes me as an arcade shooter like Galaga, right? Galaga was, if you're not familiar, it's an old space shooter game, okay? It's a top, you know, it's a vertical shooter. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. The enemies at the top like Space Invaders, right? And at the bottom you have a little ship. Let's do bullet size. That, to me, that would work good for accuracy. I'm gonna do that. So yeah, the enemies at the top and your spaceship is at the bottom. And by enemies, I mean like these little space insects, okay, whatever they are. But they end up shooting at you and just going from left to right on the screen. Very, very simple format, but I can't tell you how many games were like that in old school. Like that's what it was all about. And old school gaming was either left to right platformers or shooters, or vertical platformers or shooters. And there was plenty of verticals too, like Commando was one of them. But after I mentioned Galaga, I was like, nobody's gonna recognize that term. But apparently I got some old school gamers up in the house. So shout out to you if you've been around since Galaga, or know what the heck I'm talking about. But anyway, let's do induction coil here. Yeah, shout out to you if you recognize Galaga. But anyway, my good friend Omega Rainbow, one of the my favorite Italian person in the world, he and I used to play Minecraft together a long time ago, and he's always in the comments. Anyway, Omega says that Galaga was a good example of how roguelikes would have been there's so many old school console games that would have done well as a roguelike. And I'm thinking, man, you know, he's right. Like a bunch of these old things, and I'll give you an example. There was an arcade game that got dropped on SNES. I think I'm gonna do, I don't want extra bullets for this particular gun. What I think I want is XP rate. So I'm gonna select Fame and Fortune here. But yeah, there was a game called UN Squadron. Probably one of the best space shooters, or, well, it wasn't space. So it was, you went from left to right, and there was a mini map, kind of like there would be in a Bullet Heaven or a Deck Builder, where you just, you like a zone map and different zones that you can go to. Piercing ammo, chevron charm. We don't want splitting mag here. I think we'll take piercing ammo out of all of these. Yes, piercing ammo works okay. Again, we're just going for accuracy here, so we need homing. But yeah, so UN Squadron had like this little map that you go from zone to zone, and it would get progressively harder, right? And when you would win the map, you got some currency, from shooting all of the enemies in that map and stuff. And they had a shop that you could buy from. So we were halfway to roguelike already. The only thing that you didn't get is progressive upgrades and random choices between them. But let me tell you, it would have made a fantastic roguelite. It would have made a fantastic roguelite too, with like meta progression and stuff like that. Like they could have coded it just a little bit differently, and it would have been wonderful. And a bunch of those shooters would have been like that, man. There was a game called Section Z that I played that was kind of like that. It was a space shooter, but it had like a different format. You were kind of like a robot that would fly through some space zones, and you had to kind of figure out how to get from one area to the other, because there was always two choices at the end. Okay, we go hollow sight here because homing sight is next, and we will banish heart charm here because we're not gonna need that. And do we banish chevron charm here too? I guess we just want to limit the amount of selection. I really don't care what charm I get. Ducky charm or whatever is fine too, but the eyeball charm is probably best choice for now. Anyway, I think that just would have been incredible to get, man. And it got me thinking, with all the vibe coding and everything now, how hard is it to make a game like that? How hard would it be to do that, to make a shooter and off of some concepts like that? We'll go with the Gunny's Notches here. Off of some concepts like that and just code a game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got my fingers in way too many things to try it. But for those of you that are some budding game developers out there, as much as there are like games of old that have done so well on consoles, and the concepts are just so fantastic, why not use some of that for inspiration and go with not necessarily even retro? It can be updated graphics, or I think pixel would work the best for stuff like that. But essentially, instead of the open world or the selectable world like we have here, like the mapped out world, it could just be side-scrolling levels or vertical shooters. I remember there's so many great games that come to mind when I think of this. One of my favorite games for the Nintendo ever was called Guardian Legend. Now, Guardian Legend was pretty much an RPG, but it was an idea that came to life around that. I'm gonna go with Cold Forge casings here. It was an idea that I'm talking that I don't know if it would make a good roguelike. I do know that it made an absolutely incredible RPG, and they took a space shooter and they turned it into an RPG. Look, we got homing sight. It's a done deal, baby. It's a done deal. Now we could shoot. Now we could shoot because we're going to hit enemies, which is fantastic. And I don't know, I mean, right now my bees are carrying me, so I'm gonna wait until there's more enemies on the screen, because right now I could literally shoot and not hit anything. See, right now I already feel like the bees are kind of killing everything. Maybe we should go to a place that would do a little bit better. You know, I do have one little mini mission in mind too. We have to kill Malfor, so we have to be in this zone for that. But wow, that was quick, dude. Bertha, you didn't stand a chance. Bullet damage, move speed, and armor, I think is what I'm gonna go with here. I'm gonna go with Bertha's little upgrades. But yeah, Guardian Legend was like this. So it wasn't an open way. It was, I guess it was an open world. But it was a specific large overworld map. Okay, like think Legend of Zelda. But when you got to a level like in Legend of Zelda and you would go downstairs, okay, and you had this like dungeon to explore, it wasn't even that. It was, you turned into a spaceship. You transformed into a spaceship and it turned into a vertical shooter. And there was a vertical shooter level to go through. And at the end of that level, you got upgrades. And you could upgrade weapons that you could use both in the space shooter levels as well as above ground. In like the adventure mode. It was so cool, man. It was so cool and so good. They had shops that were stationed around, and there was like progression to where you needed to get certain keys. And that's how you would progress. You'd go through these space shooter levels, you'd kill a boss at the end of it, and they would drop a key. And you would get these keys and go to the next zones, and the zones would come progressively harder. So you had to continually upgrade. It was just really, really awesome. But that was the blending of two genres that I had never seen before, like space shooter and open world RPG, and it was so good. Okay. Impaling ammo, spiked grip. I don't think it matters what we get here. I really don't. So I'm just gonna go with the impaling ammo right here. No, I'm gonna go with spiked grip because of the XP rate. I think that's fine. And yeah, we can choose to get a little bit harder right here. Let's see what we want to do. I guess we go up to the right. At 16 minutes in, if we are in the Hive area, Sir Bedivere spawns in. And just to show you guys something, check this out. The wiki sucks, so your boy made his own wiki. This is the only thing that was in the wiki. Blood and Thunder, Fame and Fortune, these are the known as trophies, okay? So I went through and I looked through videos and actually played as well and made sure that I had all of the bosses and what they dropped. And Sir Bedivere is the only one that I don't have the second one for. So yeah, I decided to take matters into my own hands and create my own wiki for it because it was killing me. I will go with bullet damage and armor here. So yeah, I still need the second option for Sir Bedivere, and I have a reroll too, so I'm not afraid to use it on that. Since we got homing already, I'm not really worried about it. And I'm just gonna stay not shooting until there's a lot of enemies on the screen, guys, just to make sure this accuracy works good for us. Okay, we can get in the B zone here very shortly. Just gonna go straight into it. There we go. Yeah, my bees are doing all the work, man. Bees are doing all the work. But there will be a time when my bees won't be enough. Okay, beautiful. Very, very good. And let's see what we get here. I guess I take... Let's do underbarrel and ability recharge rate. Why not? I'm not really struggling for anything right now. But we've been in the easy zone. This is a little bit harder too. The Hive Barons than the regular green zone or whatever. But okay. We are at 10 minutes and 39 seconds, and Birria spawns at 16. Pretty sure, if I copied down the numbers correctly. Okay, reload speed, homing strength, that's another thing that we want. Let's get this homing strength up. We will select Pasty's magic sights here. That way, when we do aim for anything, it is gonna hit stuff. All right, let's get this XP. Beautiful. Over the weekend, found something interesting. Like, I don't know if any of you are tuned in to the TikTok food world, but on TikTok, there is a lot of food content. With YouTube, there is too, okay? I'm subscribed to a bunch of channels that do food content, and my wife and I don't share that. I think I've talked about this before, but my wife and I don't share a whole bunch of common ground when it comes to getting the same content. That, like, we like a lot of the same things, but most of what we watch regularly is much different. Like, she likes drama and true stories and stuff like that, and I don't. I like, and I'm not really big on like action stuff too. She also likes movies a lot, and I don't like movies a whole bunch. Don't get me wrong, I like good movies, really good movies, but I much rather a series that I could binge and really enjoy, like Game of Thrones or whatever. We both enjoyed stuff like that. But really and truly, most of our content that we watch is really, really different. And what we do both very much enjoy in common is food content. So we both watch it. Do I want the... Yes, we'll try this terrified thing. Yeah, we'll try that. Skull spike grip. So we watch a lot of food content together. And over the weekend, we were watching food content like we normally do. And especially when my nephew's over, by the way, because we don't want we don't want him to hear cursing and stuff. And a lot of the movies that are on, if you put a movie on, definitely gonna hear cursing in it most of the time. So we try to keep him away from that. Wow, that was easy. The bees are just crazy, man. What can I say? Okay, Viper's Fangs is special power. We don't need that right now. We will go with the XP rate and stuff. But anyway, we start watching food TV, and I saw something that I never saw before, which is, it doesn't happen every day. Some various creations come up that are really, really good, but this was very interesting. And it was a lady that we watch. I think the name of her website or her YouTube channel is All Recipes. But she does a lot of home cook type stuff. Black Needle Grip, let's go with it. Retaliation, Terrified, all that other stuff. And she does a lot of quick meals, and she'll do like multiple meals per video, which is pretty interesting. And sometimes you'll see stuff like she'll do an episode of Party Dips or whatever. Anyway, she was doing a taco episode, and my wife happened to be in the mood for tacos. She had just said, "Hey, I want some tacos." So I ended up saying, "Well, I'm gonna do tacos." And we saw this this episode title, and just like, "Oh, let's see, maybe there'll be some interesting stuff." And dude, she brought out something that I ain't never heard of, and it was called a birria bomb. Okay, so if you don't know what birria tacos are, or excuse, let me say it like the Latinos would say it, depending on if you're male or female. Birria. Okay, I think that's how you do it. Birria. You gotta kind of roll your R's. The birria bombs are essentially a bath bomb shaped seasoning ball that you just put in a slow cooker with some meat, and it makes the birria consomme for you. Now, there's certain things that I don't regularly do in my kitchen. Even though I know how to do these things, they are a pain in the butt to do. Making homemade pasta is one of them. anything that involves reconstituting dehydrated peppers is another one because it's involved. Okay, let's take. I'm gonna take the effect size just in case that matters with the whole terrified thing. Reconstituting peppers. So in order to make birria tacos, you need to go get dehydrated. I think it's guajillo peppers. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And we're gonna take jet stock here. Actually, you gotta take dehydrated peppers. You gotta soak them in liquid. Okay, you soak them in liquid until they rehydrate. You open them up. You take the seeds out. You put them in a blender, and you blend them up with some other ingredients, and that makes the sauce. Then you gotta take that sauce and you gotta braise meat like chuck roast or short ribs in it for like hours at a time. Okay. Then once you have the braised short ribs or chuck roast in this birria consomme, you have to make a taco, dip the taco shell or the tortilla in the consomme, fry it with all of the ingredients in there, then serve it with the consomme as a dipping sauce. Like I said, involved, okay? It's very involved. But the thing is, once you get this done, it is an exceptional taco. I don't have any place that serves birria tacos around me. Like, none, man. I mean, none. So if I want birria tacos, I would have had to gone through that. I've eaten them a couple locations when we were traveling on vacation, and they are so delicious. Now, I will preface this by saying that this birria bomb did not hold a candle to my birria taco experience at another restaurant, okay? But for the amount of effort that I saved in order to make it, it surely scratched that same itch, all right? So I'm having birria bomb tacos this week, and I was so impressed by this. It don't take me much nowadays. I'm talking to the wife about making a gumbo bomb company. It's like, you want to make some gumbo, man? You want to do gumbo bombs? Can you imagine, bruh? Like, a lot of people don't want to make their own roux. I mean, it's not hard to make your own roux. I don't usually make my own roux because we have some jarred roux products in South Louisiana that are, I mean, they put my roux to shame, honestly. and you still get incredible quality. Let's get, do we want and we might as well do the whole napalm jet thing here. I usually just make my gumbo. Like, if you watch somebody on TV make gumbo, you're gonna be like, yeah, that's an involved process. Okay, I have simplified my gumbo process to a way that I enjoy. The effort is completely like trivial that I use, and it is delicious. Okay, is it as good as like restaurant quality gumbo? Arguably, yes. Actually, it really all depends on what you like. So I watched the other day. I watched this this video by Babish, Binging with Babish. It was an older video, but he had Chef Isaac Toops on, which is a crazy man and also a very talented Cajun chef. He has a couple of restaurants and all this stuff. That was Gang Gang. Gang Gang gives us. We could do with the bullet damage magazine size thing. We're gonna take this. Isaac Toops made gumbo with Babish, showed him how to do it, and he makes his own roux. He makes a very dark roux, and not only that, but he made it at high temperatures, which is scary, dude. It's scary that he did that. Did I just screw up and hit the wrong boss here? I did, because, oh no, I was talking and I didn't realize I was in the green zone and I got gang, huh? I sure did. Son of a gun. Oh, it's the worst me going on a tangent ever. I can't believe I just did that. Well, look, if we get the upgrade, if we get the achievement with the shotgun, I will be very, very happy. We're not gonna screw up again though. We going back in the green zone, y'all. We going back in the green zone. We don't need to worry about killing Queen Betty. Queen Betty has some decent stuff, but I don't think it matters, honestly. All we want right now is these blue canisters. That's the only thing that I really care about. So yeah, anyway, Isaac Tubes makes a really hot, really dark roux, and it's not the way that we eat it. Like, the roux that I make and that I use in a jar is dark roux, but it ain't as dark as his. Okay, not even close. In addition to that, all Cajuns say that they use something that they call the Cajun Trinity, okay, which is celery, onions, and bell pepper. All right, I don't put bell pepper in my gumbo, and I also don't put celery in my gumbo. I use onions. That's it. Onions and green onions. I'd use two different kind of onions. But that's good enough for me. Sometimes I'll season the chicken with garlic powder, but typically I don't. The garlic kind of gets overpowered by the roux, and I don't really roll with a very, very dark roux. Now, it's not a blonde roux, you know, and my gumbo is not too dark, but it's good. And I like chicken and sausage gumbo, and my sausage, I like smoked sausage. The truth is, though, if you know how to make your own roux, you can eat gumbo anywhere in the world. But the idea that most people don't know how to do it, or they mess it up if they made it, I think he actually said, if you haven't burnt a roux before, you haven't made one before. That's how sensitive it is. You just gotta go low and slow. And if you don't know what you're doing, it'll probably take you about 45 minutes to make a roux. If you do know what you're doing, you can do it in about 30, 20 minutes. He did it in about 5, but he was cooking at a very high heat, stirring constantly. He had the right ratios. All it is oil and flour together. But anyway, so the idea of getting a dang gumbo bomb, just some sort of compressed flour and oil and seasoning to where you just add some oil, would just be, I don't know. I think the concept would do really well, to tell you the truth. I don't know how popular the idea of gumbo is in foreign cultures, you know, or even everywhere in the United States. But I can tell you, if you tried it one time, you would probably like it. Not that many people that I ever met said, oh, I don't like gumbo. Yeah, I just haven't met many people that didn't like it. So now, if you're vegan or vegetarian, probably a little bit not for you, but you know, to each their own. You know, I don't think I've ever had this malediction charm thing. GoldenEye is what I thought would be a very, very good deal for El Fuego. I'm gonna take the evil eye charm, I guess. It doesn't really matter at this point. We have 5 minutes left before we fight Malfor, and it should be very, very easy here. I'm gonna let a couple of bullets off just to make sure I have enough shots. Now that my bullets aren't killing things super, super fast, I want to make sure that I'm getting kills. And oh, I forgot, we can't go across this thing. Oh man. Okay, we're gonna have to go to the right here. We're gonna have to go to the right. I hadn't even used my genetic ability right there to kill him. That's crazy. The gun is weak as hell. All right. Charges napalm, I guess, is fine. That's gonna help us with damage. Yeah. So anyway, I thought a lot about that, man. Thought a lot about it. I was so impressed with it. I just could not believe that this Birria bomb just took so much effort out of the Birria tacos, and I was dead set on making a gumbo bomb, man. Then I started thinking about, I was like, wait, that's just dry root, and they already have it. But it's not the same. It's not novelty, you know. It's not like put it in a slow cooker, set it and forget it. Because this was just so easy, this Birria bomb thing. Although it was a little bit different. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just take spikier spikes or whatever here. All right, now I'm getting some good stuff in terms of accuracy. Yep, in terms of accuracy, this is good stuff. And it's gonna be even better once I go down to the right here. Because this is the horde zone, and I already know there's plenty of work that my bees ain't doing here. And also, this is a good place to get canisters too. All this area down here, this is where I farm canisters at. And they're really good. And a lot of guys were like, a lot of people in the comments were like, why don't you just, you know, do some farming runs on camera? And that's essentially what I'm doing right now, except I'm just not focusing on farming or how much that we can get. But honestly, that's kind of what I need to do for the next few videos. Don't get me wrong, we're gonna try El Fuego again. But I still haven't 100% of the game, and I do want to try some different builds on them. Most people in the comments have chimed in saying, hey, there's only a 1 or 2 builds that can beat El Fuego, just so you know. There's not that much variety in the power level that does what it wants. And I think it has to do with the fundamental mechanics of the way the game works with damage, because as powerful as this special power gun was with on my character that we did last run, I can't get the damage numbers to tick up very high in the little dummy room, the little training room, when I'm in the base. And I think it's because my special power isn't leveled up, because that has a lot to do with you increasing. Like, I haven't taken many special damage bonuses at all. I mean, special power bonuses at all. Any upgrades that maybe 1 or 2 that have raised special power just by accident. But look at my special power right now. It's 30,558, and it's because a special power increases every time you level up. So it's not just the, you know, the effects that you take. Hellfire barrel, bullet count, or bullet damage. Bullet damage. I don't think I take either of these. I don't think I need it. I don't think I need that. It would add to my power level, but I'm not really worried about Malfor here. I'm gonna go back into the easy area just to make sure I kill him. We're still level 51. I didn't think that we had got enough upgrades, but apparently we did. I'm just here just to make sure my bullets hit stuff. And they are hitting stuff. I have no idea what my accuracy is. There's no way to even see what your accuracy is. I shouldn't have taken that because I'm already at 100% crit. I don't think there's any way to see what your accuracy is, unfortunately, until you finish the run. And we'll know if we got enough. If we didn't get enough, I have no idea. I have no idea, man. It makes me say, well, I can't publish this video because it's not actually about anything. But I can call it a fail. I could call it a fail and ask you guys in the comments to help me out. Yeah, we definitely don't need the crit chance thing. We'll take the Spike Storm mag here. Yeah, that's the only thing that you can do. When a YouTuber sets out to make a video, to do something, and he fails in doing it, you either don't publish the video or you publish it as a fail video. That's your 2 options. I'm not nearly as self-conscious as I used to be about it. You know, being on YouTube for a long time, it kind of puts things in perspective in terms of how people behave online. I mean, you see it every day when you look on social media. People, you know, drama and people doing that, you know, calling each other out and just really being messy and nasty to one another. My old channel, man, oh Lord, I got a lot of that. I mean, you got to figure, after 300,000 people out of those people, a few of them were nasty people. They're not very nice people. And look, I was grateful for them. I was grateful of them for subscribing. Oh man, we slowing down here. But I was not grateful of some of the hate that they shared every once in a while. Every time a bullet from your primary weapon penetrates a target, it will increase its own damage by 7%. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever had that. Okay, Malfor, we were supposed to go in the easy area to do this, but it's all right. Let's see how we do. The build's getting messy anyway. It's getting messy anyway. Let's go with, I mean, might as well just go with reload speed here. Let's use our genetic ability. Oh, we still gonna kill him easy. We still killing him easy here. Okay, our genetic ability ran out, but that's okay. Easy peasy. Now let's see if we completed the run. Did we get the achievement? We got to look at our stats carefully here. We did. Missions completed. Fish in a barrel. Achieve a victory with 70% accuracy or higher while using the shotgun. Now, that's how you do it, guys. That's how you, this was your 40-minute tutorial on how to get one achievement in the game. Just out of curiosity, I wonder how much this weapon does. See, the damage is just terrible. It is really, really bad. That's how to build a terrible weapon, just in case. How high was the, oh my god. It's considered 7111 power, which is absolutely awful. Hey, we got something. Sell a gun that had the evil eye charm augment equipped. That was another achievement. Okay, let's go look at this thing now. Yep, you got a 1 on you. You got a 1. Eagle eye, reduce bullet spread. I don't know exactly what good that is. I'm definitely not going to spend 200 of my precious resources on it. What I will do though is I am going to increase. Is that crit chance? Yeah. Reload speed. I don't know what to actually raise here. Rate of fire is probably the smartest because I don't have enough of these. And yeah, we still have 2 of these as well. And with that money, we may be able to just speed myself up right here. We may be able to buy another gambler pod. Yeah, we did. Okay, now we'll be able to put our gambler pods. Airdrop refinement bay. What? I didn't even know that was a thing. Available drops. We're gonna put that here, and we're gonna put that here. What I should do is put all of the turrets at the end, because that's closest to when things get tough. But for these specific challenges, I like having them at the beginning because they help me fight stuff when I'm weak. Other than that, guys, we did it again. I guess the next run, what we're gonna do is probably we're gonna farm some more resources, but we're gonna try out El Fuego again, I do believe. If you guys are interested in that, give me some dap on that like button and hit the hype button if you got it on your mobile app. And you can also subscribe to the channel for more daily videos. Good hanging out with y'all again. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Uljan signing off. We'll see you next time.